Hey guys, welcome back to Vigil Laboratory. This is David reading some more of Every Soul Starts. So let's get started. So without further ado, let's get started and let's see. Okay, be just a bit because I don't have much time. Okay, girls, my mother says. Not Google again. You still visit each other, I promise. This isn't forever. I wipe my eyes and I wipe my eyes and I wipe my what the This isn't forever. I wipe my eyes and drag my hand under my nose, sniffling. I shouldn't expect Mom to understand. Dad is like her only best friend. Milo's annoying. Okay, I like that. Sorry. Okay, distracted. Milo, you're done. Nope. Squeaky, squeaky. Okay. How will I know who I am if it's not clear as best friend and co-leader of the A clique? My whole life has been about being at the top of the social hierarchy, and I got there in spite of my family's nerdosity. Now they want me to abandon that and wallow in obscurity during the prime of my life. After one last crying session, complete with promises to write every day, I let Mom lead me out the door and back to the van. I don't think I have any more tears left in me. Dad and Melanie tried to be nice on the way home by offering to help me go through my stuff for the garage sale, but I ignored them. They're too cheery and it's making me feel even worse. Mom and Dad talk excitedly about how beautiful the campsite is. Unspoiled land, a big lake with fish and frogs, babbling stream with gold nuggets. Mom says witnessing an eclipse is something people wait their whole lifetime for, but they're rarely in the right place at the right time. I don't understand how you can have an eclipse in one place and not in another. Since there's only one sun, but I don't want to encourage them by asking questions about it. She babbles on about how it's going to be so exciting to watch the eclipse with people from all over the world. Wow, staring at the sun with a bunch of strangers. For that, I have to give up my job at Let's Make Up. A lot of other kids wanted that job. Aren't you not supposed to look at the sun? I ask, hunched down in my seat. Didn't I learn that in kindergarten? We'll have special glasses, Dad replies. The lens filters out the amount of sun that hits your eye. Don't worry. Right, like that's my biggest worry. When we get home, I go straight to my room, lock the door, and throw myself on the bed, staring up at the poster of Orlando Bloom on the ceiling. I wonder how I'm going to get through this. I'm not they spend time on my own kind of girl. It's like the old saying about tree falling on the woods. If no one hears it, does it still make a sound? I'm so beautiful, but no one sees me. Am I still beautiful? Mom knocks on my door when I don't answer. She says, I am leaving some empty boxes outside your door. Anything you think you can part with can go in them. The garage sale is on Saturday and the rest will donate. Be generous. We won't have room for storage up there. I can't part with anything, I yell. I'm sure that's not true. She calls back. All your magazines are a fire hazard and they'll have to go. All my Vogues and Vanity Fairs, all my entertainment weeklies, they're only a fire hazard if someone lights them on fire. I squeeze my eyes shut tight against the tears. Mom ignores my very logical argument and says, any item of clothing you haven't worn in 2 years goes in there since you'll have outgrown them. I'm already the tallest girl in 8th grade. Chances are I'm not growing much more. It took years of my saving my allowance and birthday money to build my wardrobe, and all the belts and shoes and bags and jewelry to go with them. I better keep everything, I argue. For Melanie. Silence from the other side of the door. We both know Melanie would never wear my clothes. It wouldn't kill the kid to wear something other than old jeans and t-shirts once in a while. After another hour of feeling hideously sorry for myself, I bring the boxes into my room. Melanie has already filled one up and placed it outside her door. I'm sure no one expects me to donate anything since they're always saying how materialistic I am. Well, they're always saying how material. Oh, well, I'll prove them wrong. I pull down everything from my shelves, the trophies from summer camp that everyone wins if you're the worst athlete there. The dried out arts and crafts projects, my old collection of four-leaf clovers, trophies, and dusty candles and seashells and broken toys. I toss them all into the biggest box and push them into the hall without a second glance. I don't know why I've kept that stuff so long anyway. None of it says anything about who I am today. It takes 2 hours, but I managed to cut out all the pictures from my magazine collection that I want to keep. Clearly, I'll have plenty of time to tape them into my book once we get to purgatory, which is how I've begun to think of the campground. We learned in English class that purgatory is the place where souls go to wait before being sent on their final destination. That's like me. My life is being put on hold for 3 whole years. It's so unfair. I continued tearing through my room, pulling clothes out of drawers and off hangers. Who knew I had so many shoes? But when I'm done going through all my clothes, I'm still left with not being able to part with most of it. I start to go through my CD collection and then realize all of them are loaded onto my iPod. I pile them neatly in a box and slide it next to the other one outside my door. Melanie still only has the one box. Granted, she had a lot less stuff than me to begin with, but whose fault is that? Not mine. I don't say a word at dinner. Dad had picked up pizza, which is apparently something else that I won't have for 3 years since not even Domino's delivers to purgatory. Melanie chatters on how excited she is to learn how to use a telescope and to hike through the trails, and it's all I can do to keep from crying again. Anyway, okay. The garage sale is horrible. I watch from my bedroom window as the furniture and dishes and silverware get snatched up by strangers. It's not like it was even that nice to begin with, since Mom and Dad weren't never big on buying fancy things, but still, it was ours. Who knows what the furniture in our house will look like? Supposedly the people who are there now are leaving most of it for us. I watch as the pimply guy from the local record store buys up all my CDs for $1 each. I'm sure he'll sell them for a hefty profit. Someone even buys my old soccer trophy from camp. What's wrong with these people? When the last bookshelf has been carted away, Mom and Dad count the money at our kitchen table, which is practically the only thing that they didn't sell. When all the crumpled bills are sorted into piles, they do a little dance around the kitchen. Now I can buy that spectrometer, Mom says gleefully. Not to mention pay our bills and moving costs, Dad says, twirling her around. We should have done this years ago. I don't point out that had that had we done this years ago, we'd have nowhere to sit or put our stuff and nothing to cut our food with. Mom gets on the phone with the people who will be renting our house, and Dad goes out to the driveway to tinker with the van. He's going to leave a few days early with all the research equipment and meet us at the closest airport, which is still 4 hours away from Purgatory. He asked if I wanted to drive with him. But since I'm currently not speaking anymore, I don't think I'd be very good company. Sorry about that. Plus, there's no way that van is. Oops, sorry, hold on. That van isn't going to break down on the road. Literally poked my eye. And I don't need to be a part of that. The next few days in haze, passing haze, I feel like a zombie in my own life. The house is bare, all our stuff, including my clothes, and Mel's precious books have been sent ahead. Dad is gone. Melanie is so excited to fly that she's able to talk of nothing else. Clara is still in Florida, but the rest of the egg clickers come to pay their last respects. Laura Rudy asks if I'm taking my pink Abercrombie t-shirt with the lace on the bottom. I had actually packed it in the one small bag Mom is letting us each bring on the plane. I figure if I give it to her, maybe she won't try to steal Claire from me. So I dig into my bag and hand it to her. She squeals and runs into the bathroom to put it on. Laura, she's only a 7.5. On her best day, so at least the shirt won't look better on her than it did on me. Waking up on the last day in her house is the hardest. I don't want to get out of bed. Melanie runs in and jumps on the bed. Get up, it's time to go. There's an ant crawling, oh my god, hold on. Okay, so now that I got my ant under control, what is on YouTube? Okay. What's the temperature out there right now? What's the temperature today? I just want to see, I don't know why, but I want 86, not bad. Thursday's 88, that's really good. Okay, back to reading. Okay, then she hops off and skips across the room. Honestly, the girl is more like 5 than 11. I make it downstairs in time to hear my mom say into the phone, "Thank you again, but as I've said, it's not going to be possible. We're moving quite far away. Thank you for your interest in Bree." Then she hangs up and seems surprised to see me standing there. What was that about? Who was that on the phone? She looks like she'd rather not say, but I don't budge. That was someone from class. They said you went to modeling. I read it, 10%. And They were just calling to offer you a place in a course they're giving. Really? I knew that woman had noticed me. Don't get too excited, Mom says. Put the last, put out, putting out the last of the bagels. I'm sure they call everyone who attended. It's probably a scam. I opened my mouth to argue. But what if she's right? I can't even ask Claire if she got the code because if she didn't, it would be awkward. Can I still do it? I ask, holding my breath. What do you think, Mom says? I think this whole thing bites. I say and storm out. My iPad remains on from the moment we leave the house to the moment the flight attendant says turn off all electrical devices. I'm squished between Mom and Melanie, who's jumping loudly on honey roasted peanuts and pointing out each of Cloud, as we fly overhead. When we first came on the plane, we had to walk through first class, and it was so nice. Roomy leather seats, footrests, and a cute guy in a college t-shirt checked me out. I might be the best dressed person on the plane in my strappy sandals and pink cami and wraparound skirt. Everyone else looks like slobs in sweats or jeans or shorts. I firmly believe one should always look their best, no matter what the circumstances are. If I wasn't being sent to purgatory, I might have flirted with college t-shirt guy. Melanie keeps poking me and reading passages from a book about eclipses. Listen to this one, she says, not waiting for a response. In the middle of watching a solar eclipse, this woman says, if it could be repeated every day for a year, I would never budge from where I stood. That must mean it's pretty amazing. Trust me, I say, closing my eyes. I'll be able to budge. Dad is waiting for us in baggage claim when we arrive. He looks tired, but he perks up when he sees us. Melanie goes running into his arms. I grunt a hello. I look for a college teacher guy when we land, but I don't see him. Flirting would at least be something to do. Even the airport is in the middle of nowhere. Cornfields and distant mountains and cows. It feels strange to see Dad's van parked in front of such an unfamiliar place. It bucks and grunts as he turns the key, but it feels like home. After a few hours, we arrive in a little town that, as far as I can tell, consists of 2 streets with a diner, a video store, a laundromat, and a tiny market. We pull into the diner. I'm surprised to see the parking lot is full. So they're just my other campus. I have the community. That's what it's mentioned. Okay. Okay, next page. We're about 50 miles from the moon shadow. That says, as a little bell rings to announce our arrival inside. What is the moon shadow? I ask hoarsely. Then I clap my mouth shut, remembering my vow of silence. That's the name of the campsite, Melanie says, mounting on her heels. Sorry. Because during a solar eclipse, the moon's shadow covers the earth. Isn't it a great name? Fab, I mutter. A waitress appears and leads us to the one empty booth. I bet they don't have bottled water here. I'll die of thirst before I drink a soda. I can't help wondering who all those people are. Some old, some young, some even speaking foreign languages. They can't possibly all live out here. As if reading my thoughts, she waves her arm around the room and says, Eclipse chasers, come a few weeks away. I expect you all doing the same. Melanie and I slide into the booth, and Dad says, actually, we're here to take over the Moon Shadow campground. The woman hands me a plastic menu and then pauses. Really now? I didn't know that Summer's family was leaving. Where are they going then? We're not sure, Dad says, looking to Mom, who shakes her head. The Midwest, I think, she says. This all happened very suddenly. In fact, they're not even expecting us for another week. We figured we'd come a little early so we can learn how things are run before the eclipse. Another week? We didn't have to be here for another week. I threw into my menu, which is sticky with ketchup. Once the waitress leaves, Dad nudges and says, "You might want to try the meatloaf with gravy fries. It gets cold up here in the winter. You need to put some meat in your bones, on your bones." I stare at him as if he's just suggested I sprout wings and fly through the air. I can put meat on my bones and expect to be ready to model when we get back to civilization. Then it hits me. Maybe being in purgatory is like my test. It's not easy being a model. You have to watch what you eat all the time. You have to compete with all the other girls. You have to compete. You have to stand ready, still, while bossy designers nip and tuck clothes around you. Plus, you get really lagged, flying around the world. If I can't handle this, I'll know I have what it takes to put up with all the hardships that go with life as a supermodel. Maybe it won't be so bad. After all, I can appreciate natural beauty. It will give me plenty of time to practice my runaway strut. And without the smog from the city, I bet my complexion will be totally clear. Oh, who am I kidding? It's gonna suck. Okay, this is now Jack 3. One last page I'm reading, and then I'll work on reading Jack 3 another day. The ride to the bus is quiet. I'm in the back seat of Mom's Toyota. Staring out the window, most of the town is still asleep. Mike is in the front seat, as usual. You'd think that since we're in the car because of me, he let me sit in front, but no. He never thinks of things like that. I'm not pushing you into this, right? Mom says, glancing at me through the rear view mirror. It's your choice to go. Mom has asked me this 3 times since Mr. Silver's call. Yes, Mom, it's my choice. Don't worry, I'll be fine. I'm not worried, she says, but she clearly is. I don't have a great track record with school trips. In 6th grade, she had to come pick me up from Six Flags because Timmy Johnson bet me I couldn't eat 10 hot dogs. I ate 11 and threw up all over the tilt-a-whirl, and half the riders. Then last year, my history class went to a museum, and I thought a piece of modern art was a trash can and spit my gum into it. That didn't go over well either. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please click that subscribe button and turn on the bell so when I post another video, you will get alerted and you'll get to check it out, hopefully. And yeah, if you do plan on subscribing, please look again, do the bell. And also, if you do subscribe, please comment I subscribed, and either me or Haley C will reply to you. And we'll be very happy to welcome you into the Fidget Lover 103 fan list. I mean, just fans. And you could also possibly have access to this account, because I'm going to be adding more people, possibly. So, stay tuned for that. Bye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.